This is an SWX Sports presentation. Live from the McCarthy Athletic Center, the Gonzaga Bulldogs take on the University of San Francisco Dons. SWX College Basketball starts right now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, happy Thursday night to you. Welcome to the McCarthy Athletic Center. It is home to the Gonzaga Bulldogs, and what a matchup we have for you tonight. Look at those records. The Zags now ranked number 20 in the country, 14-2 overall, unbeaten in West Coast Conference play. In come the Dons of San Francisco. Dun, dun, dun. They are 12-3. As you take a look at the West Coast Conference standings, the Dons at 2-1 in conference play. They are good. Picked to finish somewhere 4th, 5th, 6th, somewhere in that area in this conference, but they appear to be a better team than that. Great to see everyone again. Greg Heister, Shaniqua Nillis joining us tonight for this matchup. Let's talk about the Zags. What a season. Number 20, expectations growing.
They are off to a great start, especially going undefeated in conference play. That's exactly what you want to see if you're the coaching staff of the Zags. And Yvonne Ejim is doing a phenomenal job of leading the way. She's averaging about 16.6 points per game. She had a big night against LMU, 24 points, 8 rebounds. She is a force down low for the Zags.
Now look, this USF team can score points. Ioana Kremili is kind of the heart of the monster, I think, for USF. There are others, but talk to us about Kremili.
Yeah, she's constantly on the move. She moves so well, pin down screens, she cuts well. She's constantly having a scorer's mentality. And she also has a quick release, so she's a three-point shooter. She can score in a multitude of ways. The Zags are going to have to guard her as a team tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, H.A. Howell will be joining us a little bit later as well. Shaq Nillis in the house tonight. Gonzaga basketball on SWX. It's the Zags and it's the Dons, and it's up next with the starting lineups and that tip-off. Back in a moment. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Time now for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Pay bills, deposit checks, access your account 24/7 with digital banking at Numerica Credit Union. Plus, so show your Bulldog pride with your Zags debit card only at Numerica, federally insured by NCUA, equal housing opportunity. For the Zags, there's Kaylin, the great Kaylin Strong. Brenna Maxwell, best shooter in the entire country, ladies and gentlemen. Michaela Williams, Eliza Hollingsworth can pop out and hit that three. And Yvonne Ejim, we highlighted her in our open. What a player she is for the Zags. And For the Dons, we know about Cremili, but Deborah Dos Santos does not appear to be in the starting lineup, may not play tonight, averaging 12.7 points a game. That's a big loss. Let's check in with A.J. Howell. She's got more on the Zags lineup.
Hey, Greg, it's been no secret that the Zags have struggled with injuries so far this season. Kaylee Trong, Bree Sallenvine, both out indefinitely, and they had to fill those holes. Head coach Lisa Fortier said that a lot of the coaches were getting tired of going up against the players in practice, so what they do, they talked to the soccer and volleyball teams to see if anyone was willing to step up and play some basketball. Freshman soccer player Gianna Riley did that, and she has been having a time expanding her college experience. Excited to see if she may get some time tonight. Greg?
That's an awesome story. Soccer, basketball, very different. It's your foot. Maybe she's got great hands, too. We're underway. Gonzaga, San Francisco. Greg Heister, Shaq Nillis, A.J. Howell. As the Zags look for win number 15 on the season, and they look to stay unbeaten in West Coast Conference play. You saw Maxwell sliding across the floor. This is Trong. Hollingsworth out there to try to set the screen. Michaela Williams, 7 on the shot clock. She lines up the 3. It's long. Rebound goes to number 2, Valaverta.
When it comes to the Dons, they really want to push pace. It gets a little bit frantic at times, but they move really well without the ball. The Zags are going to have to be really disciplined defensively.
There's good ball movement, spin inside, but look, Hollingsworth there defensively, but scoring anyways. Abby Rathburn, a graduate player from Moses Lake. This is a big night for her, you know that.
Yeah, it's always nice when you get to come home. I can only imagine. So I'm sure we have some Moses Lake people, maybe from Moses Lake High School, here to watch her, see how she does against the Zags.
Hollingsworth, mid-range jump shot. You know, what a gift it is to be that tall and to have that kind of touch.
She has such great touch. This is what Lisa was worried about, though, is they play so quickly in transition. That's their first look, the Dons, is to score in transition.
Giavola Verte knocks down the three-point shot. USF out to a 5-2 lead. That ball out of play, but belongs to Gonzaga. 14-2, 4-0 in West Coast Conference play. Ranked number 20 in this country. Marquee victories early in the year when you consider they beat Louisville, who was ranked, I believe, even higher than they are now. They're number 6 and number 4. And then Tennessee as well, one of the marquee programs over the last, 4 decades in college basketball. Williams off the glass, missed it. Yvonne Egypt, offensive rebound. Got to put a body on her, Shaq.
Definitely, and that's what she does best. She's so active, so athletic on the glass. The Dons know that, though, so I'm guessing that's something that head coach Molly Goodenbauer was not happy to see.
USF scores about 74 points a game. So do the Zags. A little turnaround in the middle. And USF out to a 7-4 lead. They've hit their first 3 shots to begin. And let me just say this, they continue to shoot at that clip, there'll be a hard out tonight. Williams, a little delay on that 3 attempt. 1 and done for Gonzaga, back comes USF.
Yeah, I think down offensively you can get a little bit better shot than that. I felt like Michaela Williams was a bit hesitant, was open at first.
Cremili missing that shot. She's offensive option number 1 for USF.
Definitely, and she's not necessarily a jet, but she's so savvy, very crafty.
Ball in the corner. Trong's first attempt from downtown. Offensive rebound, there's Maxwell. You just can't let her shoot it.
No,
you just can't.
She is phenomenal at getting her feet set quickly. And those are the best type of threes, right? When you get an offensive rebound for a kick out.
And from the elbow, extended Jessica McDowell-White. 9-7. But what a zone right now Brenna Maxwell's in. She turns it over there. Here's a chance for USF. We'll talk about her shooting numbers here in a moment. Cremili kick to the corner. That's Dickey. And USF, ladies and gentlemen, in rhythm offensively, 5 of 6 to begin.
But notice, I don't know if the Dons have ran an offensive set yet. They're trying to get most of their points in transition, so you have to sprint back defensively and get in those driving lanes so they can't drive and get layups or find open shooters on the three-point line.
Shaq Nillis knows basketball, doesn't she, ladies and gentlemen?
Just a bit, just a bit.
It's been, we're going to talk about that family history too here in a bit. Here's Maxwell, great put it on the floor, rise, and knocks it down. Brenna Maxwell off to a hot start. So is USF at the other end. Camille trying to get open, but Williams doing a good job there.
I'm excited to watch that matchup because Michaela Williams is so athletic, and she also loves the grind of defense, I think. So that's going to be a matchup that'll be really fun to watch as the game progresses.
Turnover number 2 for USF. And checking in for the Dons right now is Amalie Langer, number 5, a 5'9" graduate player from Denmark. And for the Zags, Destiny Burton, Arlington, Texas. And she's had great minutes.
Yeah,
certainly in the last couple of weeks for the Zags.
I think Destiny's starting to settle in. You know, she's coming from a different conference, maybe a different level of play, but she's starting to adapt to her role on this team.
Trying to get the shot up here. She won't. Turnover. Callie Stokes on the floor right now for the Zags. Turnover number 2 against Gonzaga. .5:30 to play in this opening quarter. Showdown between two of the better teams in the West Coast Conference. Gonzaga picked to win it again this year. They've begun 4-0. The Dons got off to a 2-1 start. There's a jump shot a little long from Lauren Christie. Burton the rebound.
And that's the tough thing about conference play is all of your teams in the conference are very familiar with each other. Coaching staffs know each other's tendencies. So each game, it's a grind. Standings don't really matter. If you don't bring your best,
yes,
you can get knocked off by anybody. So I know the Zags aren't taking this game lightly, and neither are the Dons.
Well, no whistle, a lot of contact inside. Ejim runs it down, threw it up. USF with the basketball on the move. McDowell White down the lane, leaves it. What a heads-up play, Kaylin Trong. Ahead to Ejim, the catch and finish. And that's what makes Yvonne Ejim so difficult. She can run the floor and make those catches, and then the finish.
She has such great hands, and we talked about this earlier. I also think that she's an underrated finisher. I know that one was just kind of an easy layup for her, no contest there, but she has great hands, like you mentioned, soft hands, but she also finishes through a lot of contact.
There's a 3 on the way. Stepping into it was Kennedy Dickey. Long rebound in the corner to Christie. And a reset for the Dons. And Camille from deep.
I don't think there's a shot that Camille doesn't like. If she's open, she has a lot of confidence. She's gonna let that ball go.
Yeah, proving it right there. She leads this team with 17 points a game. Stokes posting up with the basketball now. Back to Yvonne. Kaylin Trong hit that big bucket a moment ago. On the prowl again. Jump shot a little long. Rebound goes to McDowell White. Dons have cooled off a bit. Now 5 of 9 from the floor. Camille to the corner. Christie. Long rebound, and it's run down by McDowell White. Another chance for San Francisco. That shot is short. And again, another offensive rebound for USF.
With a team like the Dons, you have to give them one and done. They get one shot attempt, you put a body on somebody, that way you can start your offensive transition.
6 on the shot clock. Dickey hands it off. McDowell White from downtown. USF up 14-11. Partner, we got a game tonight, don't we?
We do, and McDowell White, she's normally just a facilitating point guard. She pushes the ball really, really fast, really hard in transition, but she is definitely capable from the three-point line. So I don't necessarily think you want to, slag off of her and give her open looks like that.
Maxwell probing the defense out on her, and a little touch foul called on Amalie Langer. 2:41 to play in this opening quarter between USF and Gonzaga. The Dons up 14-11. They're shooting 6 of 12. They've got the early lead. Back in a moment. All right, tonight's keys to the game brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Earn bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. Shaq.
Keys to the game. If you're the Zags, you really want to try to limit Corneli's touches. Like we said, she's a very talented scorer offensively, but you just want to give her really tough looks. You have to guard her as a team. They also are trying to push the pace, as we've seen, trying to score aggressively in transition. The Zags have to control tempo, not get sped up, keep those turnovers low, and just control the pace of this game.
And right now, I think it's USF that's controlled the pace. They've gotten offensive rebounds. They've pushed the ball up on the defensive end. And Cornelie just 1 of 3 to start, but she's had good looks at the bucket.
She's had good looks, and she's going to keep letting it fly. She definitely has a scorer's mentality. She reminds me a little bit of Luka Doncic and how she's not,
like that.
Right? She's not a jet. She's not, impressing you necessarily with her athletic prowess, but she's very crafty, savvy, and she gets her feet set quick. So we're going to see how the Zags adjust out of this timeout.
Yeah, she kind of reminds me of Charlize Ledger-Walker down at Washington State.
Oh, okay.
Right? Really
That's
IQ, plays with physicality, always in the right spot. Stokes trying to dig out the rebound, down on the floor. Still loose. Hollingsworth after it right now, and it's ripped out of there and a foul called. Or is this just a whistle? Oh, yeah, just a tie-up. USF with possession.
Callie doing what she does best here. We spoke about this off air before the game, that she just makes a lot of those winning plays. She's not afraid to sacrifice her body for rebounds, for loose balls. Potentially stopped a fast break there as well by getting on the ground.
She's going to be a star here.
Oh, I love her game. I'm excited to see her rise.
There's a turnover. Amy Baum on the floor. Langer not where Baum thought she would be. Turnover number 3 for USF. They have a 3-point lead. They're 6 of 12 to begin. Gonzaga 5 of 11. And USF was 7 rebounds to 5 for GU. And really that's been the difference. A couple of extra shots or a one and done on the Zag offensive end. Williams. Esther Little into the corner. Stokes 6 on the shot clock. Kelly will drive. Got all the way in there. A lot of contact. Little with a rebound. Got to go up. Ball never touched that rim, so there was never a reset on that shot clock. So a turnover against Gonzaga. That's their 4th.
Those turnovers are tough because the other people on the floor, but also the bench, you have to start to communicate that the ball never touched the rim, where we have a low shot clock. That way Callie knows to put that ball up. But also, as a player, you have to know time and score at all times.
Peyton Muma, number 3 on the floor for GU, a freshman out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Kaylin Trong gets a breather. Minute 20 to go in this opening quarter. Feed down below, nice save. Zags all over it. Trying to pick it up is Christie. She does, lost it again, and there's the foul. But the Zags playing like Badgers right now.
They're fighting, but those are the 50-50 balls that somebody's got to go and grab. You don't want to give this San Francisco team more opportunities to run their quick offense, to cut without the ball. It's a really, really tough offense to guard because they're never stagnant. And it can be very exhausting to guard defensively. So those are the balls you have to pick up so we can go the other way.
Christie with the basketball. Dickey. Hand on that shot by Hollingsworth. Stokes grabs the loose ball, but may have touched that end line, so it goes back to USF. No, I'm sorry, a foul is called. And the foul is called on Stokes. She must have pushed her out of the way to grab the loose ball.
Yeah, I couldn't see it from here, but tough break for the Zags.
And now falling down inside, and another whistle and a foul. This one's on number 12, Kennedy Dickey of USF, so they give it right back to Gonzaga. This is going to get physical, isn't it?
This is exactly how San Francisco wants to play. This is kind of their identity. They're going to be physical with you on both ends of the floor, and they hope at some point you fold. So it's very important that the Zags don't lose their composure, but they match that physicality.
Williams the catch. Now needs help. Back to Muma. Plenty of time on the shot clock. It's down to 10. Peyton. Hollingsworth, defense right in her face, and there's a slap on the hand and a whistle. And Gonzaga bailed out with that foul. There was 4 on the shot clock, and it goes against Kennedy Dickey. And Dickey has to go out of the game. That's her 2nd.
if you're the Dons. I think that's a tough loss if Dickey's picking up fouls early in this first half. She's such a great defender, and she gives you some great pick and pop options on the offensive end as well.
Egypt looking high-low and now off the dribble. Shot is short. Rebound controlled by Christie. Back comes USF. Plenty of time on the clock. They'll play for one, I'm sure. This is Baum with Williams right there, and her eyes on that basketball. Lauren Christie down to 5 on the shot clock. This is number 11, Jasmine Gales. And the whistle stops the clock with 2 seconds to go in this first quarter.
You can tell both coaching staffs not taking a possession off. We saw Coach Lisa sub Ejim in, trying to get a good offensive possession, and now you see Coach Molly Gunbauer subbing her starting point guard McDowell White in, hopefully to make something happen on this play.
Off the inbound shot is long by Gales, and that's how this opening quarter ends. USF 14, Gonzaga 11. The Dons 6 of 14, the Zags 5 of 13. A physical first quarter between the Dons and the Zags. USF outplays them by 3 points, but a long way to go in Spokane. Tonight's Gonzaga basketball broadcast brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat crafter. Stop by Arby's today. Arby's, we have the meats. Well, a fast start for USF. They've cooled down a bit. Game was kind of stuck in the mud the last 5 minutes of that opening quarter.
It definitely was, and I think in both of those pauses of play, I think both coaching staffs are trying to get their stars involved. Both Yvonne Ejim and Ioana Camili, they both only took 3 shots that quarter. They're the heartbeat of both of their teams, so I think you're going to see both teams trying to get them going early in the second quarter.
Yeah, both teams had at least 3-minute scoring droughts to end that first quarter. Gonzaga ball. There's Hollingsworth, skip to the corner. Williams open 3 on the way. Bingo.
That play is actually designed to get a high-low look for Ejim, but you can tell the Dons are really sitting on her, but Liza made the right read. Ball faking into the post, skipping it to the corner.
The turnover. Hollingsworth leaves it for Trong. Kaylin in the, oh, she traveled. I thought it was a hoop and foul opportunity and a foul on Camili, but the officials say that Kaylin traveled. Let's take a look. There was a little hop.
A little bit of a hop. I was going to give her some credit at first. I thought she did a secondary pivot, but there was a little extra spice in those steps that we didn't see originally.
A little extra spice. Here's Kremili. Langer. Kremili again. Christie is open at the top. Jump shot on the way. A lot of work to get that shot. Trong. Kayla hit a three a moment ago. Brenna Maxwell. She's hit her first two shots. That's nothing new. 15 on the shot clock. Hollingsworth looking high-low. Ejim the catch. But a foul inside on Christie before that catch.
Zags ran that same play that just got him that open kick-out three to Michaela Williams. They ran it to the other side this time, trying to get the ball to Ejim, instead get a foul. So they'll run that little baseline out of bounds here, bringing Brenna to the corner, because why, like you said, why not?
Yes.
She's always an option for you offensively.
Kaylin Trong, how good is she? And nice anticipation there by Langer. The run out, the easy bucket. San Francisco up 16-14.
And that's why Langer is out there. She's not necessarily looking to make a whole lot happen on the offensive end, but she's such, like I said, there are some pesky defenders for the Dons that are physical, that get out in passing lanes, that are a little bit handsy. And right there, she does a great job of getting into that passing lane for a layup.
Hollingsworth wanting the ball, but the defense of Abby Rathburn there. And there's a foul against Gonzaga, and I think this is on Hollingsworth. With 8:01 to play in this first half.
You can tell the Dons have ramped up their their defensive physicality. So right now I think the Zags just need to take a deep breath. You know that's how they want to play this game, and you just have to keep your composure. Don't get in those little battles in the post.
7 turnovers now for Gonzaga. Longer the pass inside, but Ejim says no way. Christie was open underneath, but that pass denied.
Ejim does a great job of not giving up there because she was behind on that face cut, but just able to get a couple fingertips, send that ball out of bounds.
She's so good.
She really is.
Yeah,
she's so fun to watch.
Right? Yeah. Jump shot, Kremili. I love how she just hangs that arm, waits for it to hit the threads.
She has beautiful touch.
She does, right?
If you're a Zag fan, you don't want to see her get going here, because once she gets hot, she's pretty hard to stop.
She's like Maxwell. Like, they start going, they keep going. Got to get a hand in her. Ejim wanting the ball, wanting it up high. Skip the trunk. Kaylin, deep three. Not sure that's the shot that Gonzaga wanted, but she can hit that.
She can definitely hit that, and I actually think Michaela Williams needs to zip that over to her, skip that ball from the corner to the top of the key a little bit sooner.
7 minutes to play first half. Kremili with 4 points for USF. She leads them with 17 a game and now works on Williams. Christie, shot for three, bingo, over Hollingsworth. And USF 50% from the floor, 9 of 18 for the game.
I think part of the issue is, as the Zags, you have to guard Kremili as a team. She shouldn't be able to get into the paint for those kickouts. You have to close down those driving lanes earlier.
Maxwell, has to save it. Williams runs it down. Gonzaga lucky there. Trong, open three, way off. And it belongs to San Francisco. And a moment ago, you felt the crowd get aroused in here. They're understanding that it looks like USF has an edge of right now. They're up by 7, 21-14, 6:24 to play in this first half. Gonzaga coverage of the game brought to you by Primera. Primera, proud partner of the Gonzaga basketball program. Egypt. That's what I love about bigs at Gonzaga. They can all run. They're athletic. They're not always the biggest and the strongest, but man, can they get up and down the floor. They're beautiful to watch play the game. They catch and finish.
This program has had some phenomenal rim runners. I can think of Kayla Standish. I think of Kiara Kudrin. I think of the Worth twins.
Yeah.
There have been so many, Zykira Rice. I can think of so many bigs where they are gazelles out there.
Yes.
I feel like
that's true.
That is part of the job description if you're going to be a post player for Gonzaga University.
Yeah, and I mean that's been kind of one of the signatures of the program for 20 years.
Definitely.
The post players are athletes.
Definitely.
That shot is short from Christie. All right, the Zags need to find some rhythm offensively, don't they? How do you do that, Shaq?
I think you need to slow down a bit. I think San Francisco was doing a great job of speeding them up, making them take some out-of-rhythm shots. Feet weren't set. We don't need to score in the first 5 seconds of the shot clock. We can work it around a bit, make San Francisco work defensively.
Egypt, great position. The catch, left hand, a little short, but that was good offense.
That was a great look. She just happened to miss it. Look, nobody's going to go perfect every single night, but I think that's what you're wanting to see offensively.
Oh, and a foul called on Stokes. Kermele was tripped. Fans don't like that call. I'm not sure I do. We'll get another look at it, I'm sure. Does Kermele just lose her? Yeah,
That's a tough break for Stokes. I don't think there was a whole lot of contact. It seemed like incidental, stepped on a foot, but
it certainly wasn't a purposeful trip.
Definitely not.
McDowell White. Five on the shot clock. Kermele, the step through, missed it. Williams with the rebound.
But that's what she wants to do. She wants to mess with the ball. She has it on a string. She's going to do step throughs, different footwork.
Trong, there it is. When you struggle, you miss your first few, you keep shooting it if you're a Caitlin Trong caliber player.
Well, that's a part of being a great shooter, right? Is you have to have a short memory. So it's only going 1 for 3 or whatever. That's not enough to make you stop.
Yeah, there's a travel. So USF now the turnover. They have 6. So the Zags with some momentum now with 4:41 to play in this opening half, and it's USF now in a 2-minute 9-second scoring drought.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Zags try to go for Ejim again. Still trying to get her going.
Brenna Maxwell, that ball was deflected by the defender out there. Langer. So possession stays with Gonzaga. Brenna Maxwell with 2 field goals. She's 2 for 2, but I don't think she's taken a shot in a while. And Trong feeling it. Heat check doesn't go. Long rebound controlled by USF. McDowell White, big first quarter for USF. Drives the lane, falls off. Ejim the rebound. Zags starting to impose their physical will, I think, in the last few possessions.
I think the first couple minutes, maybe even the first quarter, you're just trying to find your footing. This is the first time these teams have played each other this season, so there still might be a little bit of an element of surprise, but I think the Zags are starting to settle in nicely now.
And when you're Gonzaga, that bullseye is awfully large. 3 on the shot clock. Williams trying to get it to Ejim. The catch. Somehow Yvonne got it up there, but that never hit iron. So a shot clock violation gives it to the Dons.
I'd like to see the Zags, especially the guards, come off those screens looking to score. I know the focus is getting the ball to Ejim, but I think they have to do a better job of attacking off the ball screens.
Kermele missing. She's now 2 for 6. She met some contact inside, but you gotta figure that's a shot she normally makes. 4-point game, 3:20 to play in this opening half. Greg Heister, Shaq Nillis, A.J. Howell as Williams, great touch. Found her spot in that lane. Williams now with 5.
And I thought she did a great job of being aggressive You, as a ball handler, you are the primary option off of a ball screen.
She's been labeled as this defensive player, but Michaela has got some offensive game too.
Oh, she's definitely capable from that end of the floor as well.
You hear the crowd now into it. 7 on the shot clock. Oh, Little with the rejection. Ejim runs it down in the middle. Or in the corner, I'm sorry.
She might be one of the best shot blocking guards that Gonzaga has had. She has such great touch, timing, feel. She doesn't get a lot of fouls, whereas when I would try to block people's shots, I was just literally hack-a-shack over here.
Little got a hand on that, kept it alive for Trong. Throw it to Ejim. Yvonne now looking to score.
Trong and Ejim have such a great connection. They're starting to really come together. One of the best duos, I think, in the WCC.
It's a 7-0 run for Gonzaga. We're tied at 21. Nearing the 2-minute mark of this opening half. No whistle on the contact there. It's down to 10 on the shot clock. Cremili driving on Maxwell. Left it in the corner, and boy, what a shot there by Jessica McDowell-White to cry at the crowd.
Great defense there by the Zags, but again, Cremili, she's always aggressive, and so if you're an aggressive guard, not only are you able to create your own shot, but also create shot opportunities for others.
Williams left that short. Cremili down on the floor to get it. Don's up by 3 with the ball. Corner. Trong with the rebound. Oh, fake the pass to Maxwell. Little was wide open. That was crafty by Kaylin.
I think it even surprised Little a little bit because it got to a point where you're like, maybe she's not going to be able to get it to her, but we know better than that.
Yes, my eyes totally went to the corner. Cremili's 3 is off. Gonzaga with some momentum, but the Dons still with a 1-point lead. That could change here. Trong's 3, short.
I don't know necessarily if that's the shot you want. I know she's capable, but I think we still are trying to play at a pace that San Francisco is setting.
Well, right now, this game is setting up to be low scoring as we near half and both teams still in the mid-20s. Dickey, the drive. Williams, a great block, called for a foul. To the angst of everyone in here. Yeah, there was some contact, wasn't there?
I do think there is, and Michaela's crafty enough, and she's also a smart defender. I think you just need to slide over, get outside the circle, get your feet set, take it in the chest. I think that's your best option than trying to, block somebody's shot. And I remember one of my coaches said, block shots are one of the most overrated stats because the majority of the time you're fouling or it does go out of bounds, but then somebody gets to set up their baseline out of bounds play. It's not all the time where it works out in your favor, where you're blocking it in bounds and we're able to score off of it. So I think you just need to be disciplined in that instance.
Yeah, one of the great shot blockers in the history of basketball was Bill Russell, speaking of USF, and he used to talk about the fact that the great shot blockers keep the ball in play. They don't block it to the next county.
Yes. As cool as those are,
yes.
we love to see those.
Yeah, we do, right? Like
but
the crowd goes crazy.
It's not great.
Yeah, but he used to say, look, who cares if you're blocking shots if you're not getting possession?
For sure.
All right, about 4-second differential in those two clocks. 25-23 with 14 seconds to play in this first half. Ejim, step back jumper. Oh, the touch. Yvonne Ejim with 8. Tied at 25. A chance for USF to go to the halftime with the lead. Amy Braun, step back won't go. USF ends that first half on a 1 of 8 shooting performance. Gonzaga battles back to tie it at 25. 25, partner.
25, very low scoring, but I think that speaks to the physical defense that San Francisco is bringing in. Right now, San Francisco offensively isn't hitting their shots. Cremili is off to a little bit of a slow start. However, these are two talented teams, two talented coaching staffs. They're both going to go to their respective locker rooms, regroup, make some adjustments. I think we're going to have a good second half.
Let's go to A.J. Howell.
All right, Coach, a huge momentum shift right before the half. How important is that as you guys head into the locker room?
Well,
any points are good points right now. We're having a hard time scoring the ball. So I think that that's great to get it back to level, but we got to come up with some answers for what to do offensively.
You say the answers. Can you elaborate a little bit on what your message is to these girls, what you need to see out of them in the second half in order to get
Well, we're not offensive rebounding is what it feels like. I haven't seen the stats, but I think we need to do a better job there. We got to execute. We've had some miscommunications, so I think that that's part of it, and then that leaves us kind of shooting something just okay at the end of a clock. We need to get some, we said offensive flow, and right now we don't have any of that.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
About that. There was no rhythm, no flow to the offense.
There was no flow. There wasn't any real sense of what the Zags wanted to do, and I think Coach Lisa's right. They had a game plan. I don't think they're executing said game plan very well right now, but they'll adjust. That's the best thing about the second half. You can do something different. There's still time.
I think Lisa Fortier's gotten great at halftime adjustments. This will be a different Zag team in the second half. The question is, will San Francisco be as well? We're tied at 25 in Spokane. And welcome back. Halftime brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Casino. Join us at the Coeur d'Alene Casino for a mouthwatering steak dinner, pampering spa treatment for the hottest games around. Coeur d'Alene Casino, a proud sponsor of Gonzaga Athletics. Coeur d'Alene Casino, welcome home. And look, credit to USF in that first half. They took it to the Zags, and they knocked Gonzaga out of rhythm. Their offense did not flow in the way that we're accustomed to it flowing.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think that Gonzaga's offense was stagnant necessarily, but I think that they were a little bit, I think they were assuming that San Francisco was just going to let passes go to the wing, that they were just going to let them swing the ball, that they weren't going to be so physical with them on cuts. And so I do think that it surprised the Zags a little bit. But again, we've talked about this. Coach Lisa is one of the best at halftime adjustments.
Yeah, she's really good, actually.
And I also think these athletes are talented and understand what the type of game that they're in. So everybody's going to take a deep breath. They're going to come out, and I think it is going to be a different Zag team.
Yeah.
In the
Greg
second half.
Heister, Shaniqua Nillis, by the way. You know her for sure. And I think that the stat that's also indicative of what that first half was for Gonzaga was the fast break points. Just one bucket. Normally we see this team out going.
Normally that's the Zags bread and butter, right? We want to get one hold the other team to one shot, get the board, and go. And I'm not seeing a lot of flyers. There was that one, like you said, literally one bucket with Vonnie Ejim, but that was a broken turnover by San Francisco that the Trong twin was able to, kick up.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're getting enough in transition, like you said. So I want to see the guards out running the sidelines, but it starts with getting defensive stops.
Yes.
And I don't think that there was enough of those necessarily. I think they did a good job of securing a rebound every once in a while, but I don't think that they set the tone defensively, similarly to how San Francisco was wanting to do to the Zags.
Yeah, San Francisco mucked it up. The Zags
That's what they do.
couldn't even get deflections and get out and run.
Yeah.
And they turned the ball over 8 times. USF turned that into 6 points. The rebound's about even now, even though San Francisco really had a dramatic lead in that first quarter going into the second quarter. Points in the paint. That's Yvonne Ejim starting to find traction. You could see down the stretch of that first half, Yvonne was starting to get positioned down there and wear away at that USF defense.
Yeah, and I thought the Zag guards did a better job later on in that second quarter of being a bit more patient.
Yeah.
You're not always going to score on the first side of the floor on that first ball screen action. Let's work it around. Let San Francisco get a little bit tired, miss some defensive assignments. Then that's when you'll be able to get the ball inside to your post.
25 points in the first half of basketball for Gonzaga. I bet it's been a long time since that's happened. But we're tied at 25. Number 20 Gonzaga, San Francisco. Halftime continues when we come back. Well, tune in to Nonstop Local KHQ SWX. This Saturday is the 9th-ranked Zag men continue their Northern California swing when they take on Santa Clara in a big WCC battle. Tip-off set for 7. It's Gonzaga basketball live Saturday night, Nonstop Local KHQ and SWX, your homes for local sports. I'll be down there with the guys. I think both Fox and Dickow will be there with me, but we've got a heck of a game in front of us here tonight, though. This is what I love about college basketball. It's so interesting to me. Jack, trying to break it down, break it all down. I mean, this Zag team scored 25 points and a half of basketball.
I know, and that's not typical for this team, but you have to give credit to the San Francisco Dons and how physical they've been running Brenna Maxwell off the three-point line. She did get those quick early shots. 2 of them made them both, but then San Francisco adjusted, made every catch really tough for her. I think we still need to get Ejim going in the paint, but I do believe it starts with your guard play. These guards have to be aggressive on ball screens, putting pressure on that secondary line of defense for the Dons. That's when you're able to skip to that high-low post, who can then feed it without any help side problems into Yvonne Ejim. But speaking of, I have to give a shout out. Speaking of great post players, on your screen you just saw Emma Wolfram.
Yes.
She is one of the best teammates I've ever had. We do not beat Oregon State at Oregon State. She has the bummiest of shoulders, and she just carried us on them.
Yeah.
Took us to the Sweet 16. One of the best players to play here, that's for sure.
Emma Wolfram. All right, halftime continues. Back in a moment. Zags in San Francisco locked in a good one. Tied at 25. Good job.
I don't think that that was a half that San Francisco was necessarily happy with offensively either. I
Right.
think defensively they set out and did exactly what the game plan was, but offensively you're hoping, if you're a Dons fan, that Camille gets going a little bit. She didn't have a great shooting half. And then for the Zags, Brenda Maxwell needs more than 2 shots in a half, that's for sure, but the Dons did a great job. And also we got to get Bonnie Ejim going down low.
The Zags give up about 63 points a game, USF about 59 points a game, but Gonzaga has played a better schedule than USF, and there's a foul on Ejim to begin, just number 1 on Yvonne. So time will tell. You know, numbers don't often lie. Each team scores about 74 points a game. Obviously, we're not going to hit that tonight unless we have 50-point halves. So it's really kind of hard to tell with both teams who average 74 points offensively who a low-scoring game favors more than the other. And Trong into the USF bench over there trying to save possession in the early moments of this third quarter.
Looks like she's stuck in the chairs a little bit.
We're going to have to go in after her.
I don't think either of us belong in diving into chairs.
Kaylin, I'll be there in a moment. Watch. Just sacrificing the body. Yeah, this game means a lot tonight, you can tell.
Yeah, the Zags are wanting to remain undefeated in conference. I think that's a goal of theirs. And the Dons would love nothing more than to knock the Zags off at home.
There's a good skip. 3 on the way. Boy, that is a good-looking shot. Jessica McDowell-White from downtown. Now with 11 points, she leads all scorers. She's 3 of 3 from behind that line, Shaq.
She's averaging just under 4 points per game. And typically as a point guard, she's wanting to facilitate. But if you're going to leave her open like that, she's definitely capable of knocking them down.
Maxwell with her first miss of the game. But McDowell-White, that shot is so perfect.
Yeah, definitely has a textbook release. Very confident in her shot, it looks like to me.
There's Camille turning down the entry to the post, and Trong inside trying to do her best with Dickey. The catch, Hollingsworth came over, help side defense, foul on Hollingsworth. That's number 2 on Eliza.
Yeah, I think Eliza just a little bit late on that help side. You have to recognize that your point guard is trying to defend, trying to front a very good post player in Dickey. Help side just came a little bit late, results in putting Dickey on the free throw line.
Senior from Kelowna, British Columbia, one of 11 players on this roster for USF not from America. About that. I don't know if I've ever seen that ratio. What is it, 11 out of 14?
Yeah, looking at their roster, I was really impressed with that international experience that they have, but also just that veteran leadership. About 9 of their 15 are seniors or graduate students. And I do think that that makes a difference when you're game planning.
Ejim trying to get it to Williams, but wasn't great spacing there. She's going to hand it to her. 10 on the shot clock. Trong needing help, sends Michaela down the baseline. Kaylin, here's Ejim. She's going to have to find her way. Shot on the way, off. Offensive rebound, Hollingsworth pinned in there, got it back, shot up and good. Eliza Hollingsworth with toughness.
She's surprised me this year with how active she's been on the glass. She's not necessarily a typical athlete like Ejim is, right, where she's skying, but she does a great job of positioning herself.
Oh, what a great job running the baseline. Abby Rathburn. The catch of the dime. USF back in front by 4. There's a whistle and a foul coming. Free throws on the way.
And I think this is a great time for Trong to get herself going. You saw she thought about that 3, but I think she's smart enough to realize that maybe that wasn't in rhythm. So she gets herself to the free throw line, hopefully see the ball go in through the net, and that'll help her as she goes back out into the perimeter.
Kaylin Trong missing her first free throw. One of 2. You know, I've talked about this before. There's a great catch. Langer leaves it inside. Boy, what a great shot block by Hollingsworth as Rathbun could not get it up to the rim. Williams had the three, turned it down. Yvonne Ejim.
I think that's the next evolution of Yvonne Ejim's game, is being comfortable when it gets skipped, when she's the trail post from the corner to her, of just letting it fly. Once she's comfortable out there, she's going to be even more unstoppable on this court.
5 on the shot clock. Foul called on Lauren Christie. Back to my point. A long time ago, I don't know who it was, I had a coach tell me, look, over a 30-game season, you're going to play really well 10 times. You're going to play well 10 times, and then you're going to play 10 stinkers. The good teams win a high majority of those stinkers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ejim, baseline jumper, a little short. Hollingsworth, the offensive rebound, put back and good. Eliza right now getting it done for Gonzaga with 6. And that's out of play. Did not touch as Zag goes back to Gonzaga.
And Zags get lucky there. That's off of a made basket that the Dons push in transition and almost get a layup. You want your point guard to go back to protect any rim runs, but everybody else, we can't celebrate. That's what the crowd's here to do. You have to get back and defend the key.
7 turnovers now for USF. Here's Michaela Williams. Drives off the glass. Nice job, Michaela Williams with 7. Just dribbled until she found a soft spot.
And we put a lot of emphasis on Brenna Maxwell coming to life this game, Vonnie Ejim coming to life. But we forget that there are some other very capable scorers for this Gonzaga team.
Good defense there by Burton on Cremili. Christie open at the top. That 3 rims out. Williams the rebound. Zags with some momentum now. 1-point lead in the ball. You get the feeling this is going to come down to the toughest team.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a very physical matchup. It can be very exhausting and also hard to stay in it mentally because you do become drained a little bit quicker.
Michaela step back short. Ejim pushed out of that middle by Abby Rathbun. San Francisco with the ball down by a point. Here's Cremili. Rathbun spins on Burton. Lays it in with a left hand. USF back in front.
Great footwork there. Catches in traffic, able to spin off the defense and finish with her left hand.
Strong. That's what Caitlin needs.
And that felt better, right? She just kind of rhythm, lulled the defense to sleep. They dropped off a little bit too far. She gets her feet set and lets it fly. She looked way more in control and confident shooting that shot.
Trong now 2 of 8 from downtown. The Zags 4 of 13 on the game, but that one gives them a 2-point lead. Here's Christie. Trong trying to stop her. Burton clears it. Now Gonzaga's out and running. Here's the lob to the baseline. Williams jump shot is long. Cleared by McDowell White. Back comes USF. Here's Cremili. Oh, did she travel? Maybe not. Shot off the glass, good. Cremili with 2 more. Now with 6.
And again, you see that Dawn's transition. They push. They are trying to run in their primary 90% of the time, I'd say. And if they can get those easy looks, that's what their coach is wanting them to do.
And Maxwell bumped to the floor from behind. Foul called on Amali Langer. 4:21 to play. Still knotted. This time at 35. Zags and Dons. Hey, welcome back. Tonight's Smiles of the Game brought to you by Delta Dental.
That's my daughter.
There she was. We're on a mission to help make Washington State 100% cavity-free. To learn more, visit cavityfreewa.com to see how we're making a difference in our community. Brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of Healthy Smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldogs. A.J. Howell, what do you know about some former Eastern players?
Done some digging, Greg. Jessica
Nice.
McDowell-White and Kennedy Dickey. If you've been watching this game at all, you've heard their names, seen their plays. You must be a little bit familiar with their game. But let me tell you something about McDowell-White. She actually led the program in assists last year. She already had 52 coming into this game. But today, she decided to get it done on her own with 11 points right now. And Dickey, a difference maker from what we've seen so far. Greg?
Thank you, A.J. And I was just looking at McDowell-White's line without an assist tonight, but you know who's leading them with assists is the great Ioana Kramili, right? So not struggling maybe a little bit to score the basketball tonight with 3 of 10, 6 points, but 5 assists for Kramili.
Seems to me like McDowell-White and Kramili did a little Freaky Friday switch on us.
Freaky Friday.
They're like, hey, do you want to score tonight? I'll pass.
Yes. Maxwell, step back 3 on the way. Rimmed out. Brenna doesn't miss any, or many. Wait till she gets to the free throw line. She hasn't been there yet. That shot, not a lot of arc on it from that wing from Dickey. Gonzaga ball tied at 35. You know, I expected, honestly, this third quarter to feel different than that first half. Really hasn't, has it? Like both teams, I guess they have a few more points. Each have scored 10 here in the third, but offense buckets have not been easy to get.
Yeah, it just kind of feels like a drawn-out fight. Nobody's going to get knocked out. We're going to go all 10 rounds.
Yes.
We're just going to take hit after hit, just absorbing some contact. Hopefully that the Zags are able to break free here as Callie Stokes.
Yes.
We've talked about her before. I think she just makes winning plays. She's one of those players that comes in and no matter what, she's going to make a difference, whether it's offensively or defensively.
Maxwell got it to Trong. Zags up 37-35. Neither team able to pull away. I guess in that first quarter, USF had built, I think it was a 9-point lead. Ooh, there's a foul, offensive foul on Little. Knocked Langer to the floor.
You can tell Little was trying to set a great one, hoping to get Brittany Maxwell open for a 3 at the top of the key. I think she was sliding just a little bit to her left, trying to keep that contact. You got to trust that your shooter, especially a shooter like Maxwell, knows how to come off your screen.
Yes.
So just get set, give her an opportunity to at least get one up.
Langer. McDowell-White into the corner. This is Kramili. Stokes sticks with her. Driving Dickey, what a tough drive that was. And she earns a trip to the free throw line. But Kennedy Dickey going to the bucket like, well, she's from Kelowna. I was about to say like a hockey player. Makes sense. She's from Kelowna.
Makes sense. Leave it to you, Eister, to get a hockey reference in. If you have a bingo card.
2:47 to play in the third.
That's what these Dons like to do. They want to get into the paint, some dribble penetration. They kick out. If you have a bad closeout, they're going to blow right by you. So you have to be disciplined with those closeouts. Keep them in front.
Well, what's going to give? The offense is eventually going to loosen up in this game. I don't know.
I don't know either. It's very interesting.
Oh, what a release.
Right now, it feels like there's a little bit of a lid on the Zags basket because they have gotten a couple good looks, and it's just fallen out.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
5 of 14 in this half. There's the offensive foul on Christie. And that gives it back to Gonzaga, knotted at 37. That's turnover number 8 on the Dons. Williams and Ejim coming back into the game for Gonzaga. Esther Little and Stokes go out. Peyton Muma. Oh, wow. Esther Little called for the charge. That's her second. Been a pretty physical game. Look, it's a tough job. I would not want to ever be an official. That's a good sell by Christie.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess
with
by
how
the
physical
definition
it's
of the
been.
rule, it's a charge, right?
Yeah.
But it's been a physical game. Not a lot of free throws shot. I mean, 2 for the Zags. The Dons with 6, so they've let them play. Is my Ejim wanting the ball. Yvonne has it. Look at her move, Christie. Missed the shot though. That's there. Just keep feeding her.
Yeah. Again, just struggling to put the ball in the net.
Gramili. Boy, what a great dribble on that spin. Gramili carves out space. She's got 8. The Dons back in front by a deuce. $1:20 to play in the third. Hollingsworth at the high post, skip to the corner. Williams. Langer out there with her. Ejim, nice catch for Yvonne. Almost turned it over and may have just done it. Muma. 5 on the shot clock. Peyton slips. Zags out of sync offensively.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the pendulum has swung too far the other way, because in the first half I think that they were getting very sped up, so there probably was a discussion about slowing down the tempo, but now it feels like it's a bit sluggish, that they're stuck in mud. I feel like it's become a little bit more stagnant. People aren't moving without the ball.
Yeah, that I agree with, yes.
So I'd like to see them, you want to play fast but not in a hurry. And I think in the first half they were hurried. Now let's just see if we can pick up the tempo but remain controlled.
Gramili bounce. Esther Little the block, but a foul called, and going back to the free throw line is Kennedy Dickey. And again, Gramili, great feel. She's the one that distributed that bounce and got Kennedy Dickey to the free throw line.
Yeah, she's a very smart player. She knows that she is at the top of everybody's scouting report when she comes to town. So I think she's done a great job of not forcing anything, but because she does such a good job of getting herself into the paint, and her teammates do such a great job of moving off ball, she's such an underrated passer. She does a great job of facilitating when she does get into the paint.
Gramili with 5 assists in this game. So for the Zags, both Esther Little and Eliza Hollingsworth with 3 personal fouls. Both on the bench with 44.6 to play here in the third. San Francisco up by 3. It's better here in the second half.
She had a determined look on her face. She's a leader. She is a baller. She knows right now her team needs her to come to life. And I'm not surprised that she took that shot, and I'm not even surprised that she made it. She's built for moments like this. So I'm excited to see her take over this game.
Gramili, reverse, missed it. Ejim controls it, but stepped on that end line. San Francisco basketball with 14.2 to play in the third. I'm not surprised either by Kaylin Trong. She's proven in the past she's got the heart of a champion. And she wants the ball at the end of games. When her team needs her most, Kaylin has stepped up many times in her Gonzaga career. 14.2 to play in the third, tied at 40. Gonzaga fan of the game brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union. Idaho Central Credit Union, your financial success fan club. There's our fan of the game. Oh, all of these little kids, I'm being told.
Well, you can't choose just one.
No, you can't. Look at those little people.
Oh, well, you were set up.
And in case you're wondering, the number 6 on the jersey of the Dons, of course, for the great Bill Russell, who passed here of late. One of the great laughs in the history of the world, not just sports, but I used to love to listen to him just laugh. But one of the great players, great champions, and of course, played at USF, won a couple of national championships back in, I think, in the 50s. There's a travel. Gonzaga with a break there. McDowell White hasn't done much wrong in this game for USF with the turnover there.
She hasn't, but I think Michaela Williams did everything right. She got into her a little bit, made her put it on the ground, didn't give her an open 3 look like she's gotten earlier in this game, and now the Zags have the last possession.
Hollingsworth. Eliza with a big smile. The assist to Trong. From Mealy. The heave. Gonzaga goes to the 4th with a 43-40 advantage over USF. They end that 3rd quarter on a 6-0 run. The crowd back into the game. Lisa Fortier knows 10 minutes to go. Gonzaga Hoops Play of the Game brought to you by Multicare Health System. Whether you're at home or in the kennel, Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. And off that turnover by Jessica McDowell White, this is what the Zags did with it to close out that 3rd quarter. Eliza Hollingsworth, love her game.
Love her game. And I think if you're the Dons, you have to do a better job of guarding this. It's just a simple handoff from point guard to your trail post, and you have to be aware of the time. You have to know that they're trying to get a quick shot. And Eliza Hollingsworth, man, she's just been phenomenal tonight. I know it's a low-scoring game. She's hit a 3. Her other buckets have been offensive putback. She is a beast tonight. She's battling. I need her to be a little bit more productive alongside her teammates for this 4th quarter.
Yeah, 6 rebounds, 2 assists for Eliza as well. All right, we begin the 4th quarter. Gonzaga with a basketball 3-point lead. Here's Hollingsworth at the high post. Thought about Egypt. Williams, the drive, got all the way in, but she missed it. Yvonne, the putback, drips over the rim.
And I think that possession, the Zags had a little bit more pace. They were zipping the ball around. They weren't so stagnant. Great reads all around.
And Dickey, the drive and finish. Kennedy Dickey quiets the crowd again.
She does a great job of attacking lazy closeouts. If you don't close out, chopping your feet, however you want to do it, but just being ready to move and guard guard the drive. She does a great job of getting in there.
And the takeaway, outlet, Langer. Williams got back. Langer creates the contact, foul, and she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
I think against this Dons team, if you're turning it over outside the three-point line, it's so dangerous because they do a great job of, again, letting the ball fly in transition, flying athletes like Langer that are streaking down the floor. And if they don't get a layup, they probably are going to the free throw line. So Zags really have to do a better job of taking care of the ball, valuing the ball every possession.
Amali Langer at the line, a 5'9" graduate player from Rugstead, Denmark.
Great country. I was a fan.
Yes.
I was a big fan. I was in Copenhagen, but
yes, your
beautiful
basketball
place.
career's taken you there.
Yes.
45-44, whistle on the catch, foul on Lauren Christie. That's her 4th.
Yeah, there's contact there, and I actually saw her teammate Vicky saying, we don't need that. A lot of times people think that's how you're going to get a steal. You either get it on the passing lane without any contact being made, but right there, she just has to be solid. Got a little bit greedy defensively.
Brenna Maxwell putting it on the floor, scoops it up. Rathbun cleared the loose ball, and now the Dons on the move, but where was that pass from Amali Langi? And that goes out of play, gives it right back to Gonzaga. That's 11 turnovers now for USF. That ball looked like it may have slipped out of her hands.
I think
or
she got
changed
excited.
her mind, right?
Well, I think she got excited. She realized what was about to be open, so I don't even think she made the catch. She got a little bit too ahead of herself.
Trong, Egypt. Caitlin Trong drew the defender over. It left Yvonne wide open. That's the flow, the kind of play that wasn't there in the first half. Zags back up by 3. Egypt now with 12. Skip to the corner. Corner 3. Bang through by Amali Langer.
And that's what McDowell White normally does. I know tonight she's been unstoppable from the three-point line, but she usually gets into the paint and kicks out for her other teammates there. Langer does a great job of letting it fly, putting it in.
Little corner 3 way off. Loose ball. Ramili with it for San Francisco. .7:30 to play. Rathbun trying to set the screen, under 10 on that shot clock. Ramili drives on Williams. Shot blocked by Little.
Runs the floor after she earned that. She had a great block from Mealy on the other end, runs the floor hard. Kaylin Trong finds her. The crowd is starting to get back into it. Hopefully the Zags utilize this momentum shift.
The drive. Dickey got it back, threw it up, missed it again. Ejim clears the miss. Zags trying to create a 2-possession lead with 6:35 to go in the 4th, and I believe it would be their first. That's unofficial.
Unofficial stats.
Yes. 10 on the shot clock and collision, bodies flying. It'll be Gonzaga ball. This is against Jessica McDowell White. She's an Aussie. You know all about Australia too.
I do know about Australia, but let's talk about England's finest right here. Esther Little sliding across the lane. We talked about this earlier. She has such great timing, runs the floor hard, finishes with her dominant hand. I mean, just beautiful. Defensive stop to an offensive bucket. That's what we need from bench players like Esther Little.
Strong. Here's Williams. Kaylin, still no word on the return of her sister Kaylee. Two tremendous ball handlers and players. 4 on the shot clock. Trong wide open. What happened to the defense? She missed it. Hollingsworth another offensive rebound. Put back up and good. Zags up by 4.
I've been so impressed by Eliza Hollingworth's activity on the offensive boards. Again, like you said, broken play. Kaylin takes a tough shot, but who saves the day? Hollingsworth once again.
Hollingsworth with 5 offensive rebounds in this game. Gonzaga up by 4, 5:54 to play. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. A lot of crazy business going on in this arena right now. Zags up by 4, 51-47. Eliza Hollingsworth. She's been everything for Gonzaga tonight.
She's been the difference maker. I really do think she's kept the Zags in this game. She does a great job of positioning herself on the offensive rebound. She has 5 of them tonight.
Yeah.
And I also think that majority of those have ended with offensive putbacks. So she's being very efficient with those offensive rebounds.
Yeah, 7 rebounds total, 5 offensive rebounds, looking like Domas Sabonis tonight on the glass.
That is
Yeah, 11
very
points.
good comparison.
5 of 6 from the floor for Eliza. With a 3. Big moment in this game right now. Vermeely driving, throws it up and in. She's good. She's got 10. Defense was right there, and she scored anyways.
She's tough.
Yes.
She's also a strong player. We forget about her size as well. She has good girth on her, and she's able to get to the rim, has good body control, finishes very well in the paint.
Strong. Little out to set the screen. And a block called. That's on Esther Little. That's her 4th. Oh, it is on San Francisco. Yeah, no, it's offensive foul. Yeah, they called that on Little. Moving screen. We'll get another look at it, but this is San Francisco basketball, and that is number 4 on Little. So that gets her out of the game. Yvonne Egypt back on the floor. McDowell White was Stokes on the floor now guarding her. Vermeely. Christie, long way away. 15 on the shot clock, under 5 minutes to play. In a back and forth affair. Game has been tied 10 times, 5 lead changes. Foul called with 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, Christie was trying to seal for a potential skip to high-low action. That forearm got a little bit high on Hollingsworth. Is kind of in that neck region. That's going to get called every time. Anything above the shoulders, the refs do a good job of protecting the players in that way.
That foul called on Lauren Christie. That's her 5th. So Christie done for the night. Finishes with 3 points, 1 of 8 from the floor. 3 rebounds. Been in foul trouble though. It's really maligned her. Strong's 3 is off. Snatched and ripped out of there by Kennedy Dickey. And now the run, the catch. Kennedy Dickey getting up and down the floor. Backs up, shoots the 3 a bit short. Stokes a big rebound. Zags up by 2 with the ball. Williams. Again, things are getting stagnant right now, right? Nobody moving.
Yeah, and I think the guards have to be aggressive. Yes, just like that. Get into the paint, put pressure on the defense.
Yes.
Kaylin Trong knows what to do. She gets it done. Does a great job of finishing through contact to get that and 1.
Kaylin's, look, I got this. I got this. 12 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists. And now to the free throw line where she's 1 of 2 for the night.
I do think Gonzaga's guards have been looking to facilitate off of those ball screens. I think the guards need to look to score.
Yeah.
The kick out is always there, but we need you to put pressure on your defender first.
Caitlin Trong with 13 points. Zags up by 5. I believe this is the largest lead they've had. The reverse falls off. Hollingsworth clears the miss. Zags with some momentum now. They've opened up a 33-27 rebound advantage. Trong again the take. The scoop off the glass. Caitlin Trong with 15. USF right back with it, and a timeout is called. And the fans on their feet at McCarthy Athletic Center. Been one of those nights. The offenses on both ends have been stuck in the mud, but Gonzaga now with a 56-49 lead over USF, and it's the Dons who've gone 2 minutes and 15 seconds without scoring.
I think this is the first timeout that Gonzaga has forced USF to take a timeout because the momentum is starting to shift in their favor. If you're the Zags, you have to keep your defensive pressure up. You have to continue to guard Kermili as a team. You have to know that they're trying to get into the paint for those kickouts or those dump downs to their post player in the dunker spot. And then offensively, you can't be stagnant. You have to continue to be aggressive off ball screens. And post players, I'd like to see them duck in hard. So if the guard doesn't have something coming off, maybe it's just an easy bounce pass into your post for a layup.
And once again, Caitlin Trong rising to the occasion.
She's a phenomenal
huge.
leader.
Yes,
for sure.
She's been everything down the stretch in this game. Kermili, step back. That's just a 2. Long 2. I don't think that's a good shot for USF, especially out of a timeout.
Yeah, I definitely think that they could have gotten a little bit better look. Maybe Kermili actually getting to the basket, because I thought Ejim was a little bit slow in her closeout. I was expecting Kermili to go by. I think she settled there.
Trong using the dribble again. Stokes. Caitlin drives on Dickey. Ejim fires the 3. Bang! Yvonne Ejim with a big smile. Ejim with 15. Zags up by 10.
If Ejim adds that pick and pop option to her game, I don't know how you defend her.
And contact, physicality foul called. It's on Caitlin Trong. And she tried to deny that pass. Esther Little checking back in, so is Brenna Maxwell. Zags up by 10. 2:30 to play. Largest lead by anyone tonight. They're on an 8-0 run, 12-2 over the last 4 minutes and 36 seconds. The Zags have hit their last 3 shots, and Kermili with flat-out strength getting that ball up and in.
Yeah, she's determined. She sees the scoreboard too, Craig, so she realizes that she probably needs to turn it up a notch as well. Just too simple, though, of a out-of-bounds play for her to score like that if you're a Zag fan.
Ejim. Caitlin, 8 on the shot clock. Look at the handle on Caitlin and the foul called. Abby Rathbun got up into her.
Caitlin Trong doing a great job of handling that pressure. I wasn't a point guard by any means. Wasn't a great ball handler by any means. But I can tell you that when you're facing that type of pressure night after night, and again, just like Kermili, she's at the top of everybody's roster, right there alongside Yvonne Ejim. But that's exhausting night after night to just have somebody constantly hounding you. And I think she does a great job of keeping herself composed and also drawing fouls and getting herself to the free throw line.
Caitlin Trong now with 16 points. She's come alive in the second half for the Zags.
She's a hooper. She's not going to stay
totally
down for
right.
long.
Just a baller. And she'll get a breather right now with 1:59 to play. And this has been such a tight game. We've not been able to talk about Jamie Nillis, who's in attendance tonight, but we'll be recording this. We've got some things to talk about, sir. I hope that Shank and I get to call a game again together. We'll bring it up. There should be a monument out there at East Valley. Anyways, that's a story for another day. That shot is short. Stokes, the weak side rebound. And you said he's the athletic director.
Yeah, at West Valley.
At West Valley.
Yeah.
What did I say?
I'm not
did I say
Knight.
East Valley?
Yeah,
yes,
I'm
you're
an eagle.
Oh my gosh, that's like fighting. I'm surprised you didn't like knock me over. But West Valley, yes, you were an eagle. Fly high. Minute 20 to go. Zags up by 10. And a whistle and a foul inside on Hollingsworth. Eliza pleading her case. Minute 17 to go. Zags still up by 10, but USF now with a basketball. That's Cammie Fulcher, a sophomore from West Lynn, Oregon, on the floor. Nice dump inside. Eacham got a hand on that shot from Braum. We hit the 1 minute mark at the McCarthy Athletic Center. What did I tell you? Every team has 10 stinkers a year, and the good ones will win a majority of those games. This was a stinker tonight for Gonzaga.
This is a bit of a stinker, but I think these are the type of just muddy.
Yeah, you're going to see him in the tournament, right?
You're going to see him in the tournament. So if you can kind of just gut out these types of wins, I think it's very telling of the type of team that you have. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep battling. They'll do their best to match each possession with that same level of physicality as their opponent. And not every game, Brenna Maxwell's going to have 30 or Bonnie's going to go off for 40. Sometimes you have to have a little bit more strategy. You just have to battle. I think they've done a great job tonight of that.
And, certainly tell me if I'm wrong. But I feel like there's this perception out there about Gonzaga that they're not physical, that they're about scoring 90 points a game, freewheeling if you get tough with them. So I think a lot of teams, this is the way we're going to beat Gonzaga. We're going to muck it up, slow it down, limit possessions. And Gonzaga's proving that they can play that kind of game.
Yeah. I definitely think for years and years now that was many teams' the strategy was, let's just fatigue them with our physicality. Let's be aggressive. Hopefully make them lose their composure, speed them up a little bit. And the Zags proved tonight that they'll take a deep breath, they'll adjust, and they'll match that physicality, which is great.
Esther Little done with her 5th personal foul, but 4 points, 1 rebound. But Esther was in the middle of a lot of stuff in that game. I don't think her night is indicative of her line.
I agree, yes. She had some great blocks.
Yes.
And she also prevented a lot of layups with just being in the right spot defensively, which again is not something that's going to show up on your stat sheet, but it definitely makes a difference.
And Yvonne Ejim, another double-double. She checks out 15 points, 12 rebounds. Just another day at the ball court for her.
Just another day in the office.
Just another day.
What's funny is I think that's her quietest double-double to date. Like I actually was about to look to be like, where is she at this game? And then you said double-double.
Yeah.
I mean, just an unbelievable athlete and basketball player.
Just racking them up. I tell you what, 20.7 to go. I'm impressed by this win tonight.
So am I.
Not a thing of beauty. Certainly not one that you're going to want to remember. But Gonzaga proved tonight, again to me, that they can win an ugly basketball game. This was an ugly basketball game.
This one wasn't known to be gorgeous, but the good thing is these teams will face each other again down at Gill Coliseum, or excuse me, not at Gill Coliseum, but down in San
War
Francisco,
Memorial, yes.
War Memorial, and hopefully the Zags can come out and dominate like we're accustomed to seeing them do.
Yes, and well, I think again impressed with the fact that Kaylin Trung stepped up down the stretch of that game. Yvonne Ejim stepped up down the stretch of that game. Eliza Hollingsworth stepped up throughout that second half and came up with big rebounds and putbacks. Not a beautiful basketball game tonight, but nonetheless another win for Gonzaga, and the season rolls on.
The season rolls on. They remain undefeated in the West Coast Conference. You move on to the next. You look back at the film, see what you can do, see what you can work on, but you have quick turnarounds when you're in conference play. So they'll get ready to go on Saturday as well.
All right, time now to announce tonight's players of the game, presented by A to Z Rental. No job is too big or too small. With 8 convenient locations, we run everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player. Kaylin Trung, certainly one of them. Boy, was she huge in that final 5-minute run for the Zags. They ended the game 3 of 3 from the floor.
Just such a good job of keeping her composure. Kaylin Trong, not the best first half, doesn't lose confidence, continues to be aggressive in the second half. You have Eliza Hollingsworth, who is just a consistent presence on the offensive boards. Yvonne Ejim doing what she does best.
Okay, AJ Howell, who do you have?
Guys, I'm here with Eliza Hollingsworth. So many big plays in the right moments. What was clicking for you tonight?
I think it was just doing my job, the hustle plays, just controlling the controllables, yeah.
What had to change for you guys for things to start clicking offensively?
I think we need to match up in our defense and transition, really identifying players, and then, yeah, getting on the boards and making sure we get those second chance points.
Awesome, thanks. Congrats. There it is. All right, here with Coach now. You guys have had some hard-fought wins this season, but how important was one in conference and really pretty victory?
Yeah, I mean, they're as good a team as there is in our conference. They're among the top. And so I think they're all important. But when you play the better teams, you have to be ready to play. You play the better teams at home. It's really an important time because those things make the difference in the way that the chips fall. So I'm just glad that our team played tough tonight in a time where we really needed to.
What did you learn about your team tonight?
You know, I think every time we've had some of these ugly wins that are hard fought, and it's not like we're just cooking people from the perimeter. Like, and today was one of them, and it just showed that we can persevere. I think that they're tough. I don't think